Hi, Paul from Find My Footwear, and today we're looking at a comparison between two of the best cushioned support category shoes on the market right now, the Brooks Glycerin GTS 22 and the Asics Gel Kayano 32. The Kayano has been Asics' long-time fan favourite in the support category shoe, and the 32 ups the cushioning, so we've got an additional 2mm of cushioning in the forefoot, and that means the drop from heel to toe has been reduced by 2mm because it still remains with 40mm stack in the heel, up to 32 in the forefoot, 8mm drop. Now it's the FF Blast Plus foam running the full length of the shoe. You do have the rear gel inserted in there, but nowadays it's such a small piece of gel, I think it's just a token gesture, to be honest, as a nod to the history of the gel in the name of the shoe, the Gel Kayano. It doesn't really add anything to it, to be perfectly honest, and you don't feel it. But the FF Blast Plus foam is soft and reasonably responsive, and in this new iteration with the new geometry provides a very smooth riding experience. The support comes from the 4D guidance system. Now, Asics are at pains to point out that this isn't acting like a traditional medial post. It's not firmer than the rest of the surrounding foam. In fact, it really is quite soft and springy, and that's the idea. Essentially, when your foot lands and rolls into an overpronated state, the 4D section here is going to spring it out, push it back into neutral, and keep the foot in a neutral position throughout the rest of the foot strike. It works very well, but it's not as definite or as controlling or supportive as previous versions of the Kayano from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago that did have that more traditional medial posting. Okay, but it does work well for mild overpronators. The Glycerin, this is the new Glycerin, and we have got 38mm of stack in the heel, 28 in the forefoot, so 10mm drop in this shoe. The foam in the Brooks model is the brand's DNA tuned material. So the DNA material is a nitrogen injected foam, but in the new versions, in the tuned foam, Brooks are able to, like the name suggests, tune the feel of the cushioning in different areas of the shoe. So we've got larger cells in the heel, smaller cells in the forefoot, and that results in a softer impact and a springier toe off. And it really is noticeable in the shoe. You've got the guide rail system, GTS Go-To support in the Glycerin GTS, and that sits the foot centrally within the shoe to help control overpronation. It works well for supinators as well to a little bit of an extent, but it does work better for those that require a little bit more support than perhaps the Kayano. Very responsive feel, smooth but energised, and I think a little bit more versatile than the Kayano. Fit true to size on both shoes in terms of both length and width. I do find that the Glycerin is a little bit roomier than the D width, regular width suggests. And some people that normally go for a 2E have been okay in the D width. The upper tends to have a little bit of stretch to it, gives a little bit more wiggle room. Other than that, both very high quality constructions, nice breathable mesh uppers in both shoes, lots of plush padding as well. The foot does feel like it's in a very luxurious, snug and secure place in both the Kayano and the Glycerin, and in both shoes you've got nice fit around the tongue, ankle collar, lots of padding in there, stretchy pull-on tab on the Kayano, and on the Glycerin again lots of plush cushioning, and you've got this kind of dual collared system where lots of padding sits around the ankle, and you've got this, again, the stretchy pull-on tab that continues to create a little bit of an extra collar. It's purely cosmetic, doesn't serve any particular purpose, but it does fit very well. So both the shoes fit very well. Stepping comfort is really great, and cushioning in the heel is really plush and absorbs every bit of shock. There's no kind of ground impact feel from either shoe. The Kayano does feel very soft and spongy, shall we say, whereas I think the Glycerin is a little bit more responsive. The different tuned element to the midsole foam does give it a bit more of a kick. Shoes are priced similarly in the US, although in the UK the Kayano is more expensive. Don't know what the reasoning for that is, but in the US they're the same price. On that basis, I would go for the Glycerin because I think it has a slightly more energized feel to it and it offers a greater degree of support. And if you want a support shoe, you want a support shoe. The Kayano is a very soft, plush riding shoe, but the support only offers a little bit of stability. So again, if you need the support, you're going to go for the Glycerin rather. Not too concerned, then the Kayano is a soft, spongy kind of feel. Feels like you're running on a nice grass playing field or perhaps running on the beach, whereas you get a soft impact from the Glycerin and a springy toe off. So the Glycerin edges it, and in the UK, a plus point is better value for money as well. So very close kind of shoes aimed at similar foot types. I think it comes down to the level of support that you require personally. Any questions, stick them down below as always, and please do subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate that. And once again, thanks for watching Find My Footwear.